everybody, it is Tito Capote, and today we're doing something that's a little weird, but a little different, but also a little fun, and a little, I think, very informative. It'll be very useful for a lot of people who want to see these kind of decks, like rogue decks, facing up against the meta in action. So, recently, I built a branded deck, and I'm sorry for my sleeves. Anyway, I built a branded deck, and I know how to play it pretty okay. I helped one of my friends try to get ready with branded for a regional, so I know how the deck works. Um, I'm not like the best branded player, but like I can show you the ropes and stuff. The deck I built also isn't like the most advanced version of branded. It's not the adventure, funky stuff branded. It's actually dogmatika branded because I think it's fun and because it's cheaper. And it does have the DP engine in there. And I do have proxies in there, such as hand traps and like expensive cards that I just can't afford more copies of than I have. So there are if it comes up, I will explain what they do, or if you but anyway, I'm going to, since I have no friends, I'm actually going to be playing both decks. I'm going to be playing against myself. Which is something that I do often. I think it might seem like really weird to you guys, but honestly, I found that it's really helped me understand my decks better. I like if you want to try it, you can. You do forget like stuff, like maybe you forget you have a hand trap, but I'm going to leave both hands revealed on the field, so you guys can see what's going up, what's like. If you guys can think of your own play, and like maybe in the comments tell me, for those of you who are watching and who are interested in this kind of thing, you can tell me like what you would have done better. Like you can have a little discussion about how to play the deck, how you think you should have played, I should have played the turn, or whatever. Or if I forgot something, you could explain to me or explain to the other people. Because again, I'm not the best player with these. I'm decent at heroes, which is the other deck that I'm going to be playing. Because I just want to show how heroes fares against branded in just a playing environment. I'm not going to do side decking because I only have one side deck, and a lot of those cards are expensive. So I think it'd just be easier to do just showing what heroes can do first, and then showing what heroes can do going second. And again, what branded can do going first and branded can do going second. Again, I'm not the best player, but I already pre-shuffled all the decks. I just have the decks here because, of course, we're going to cut the decks like we would in real life. Unfortunately, I'm like the worst cut. I don't know which one. Let's just put that one. Usually, I do that. But I'm like the worst cutter in the history of cutting. I always have bad hands when it comes to me cutting my own decks, or like cutting my opponent's decks. But anyway, that's what we're going to do today. It might be a little bit weird. It might be a little not optimal, but this is the best I can do with what I got. And I do want to help you guys, for those of you who want to get into heroes, especially since the hero deck is so much cheaper now, and it'll get even cheaper once the what's it called, Liquid Soldier reprint, which I hope it does get reprinted. If it doesn't, I will be very upset. Like I'm one of those people who I don't care if my cards get cheaper. I like it when cards get cheaper because then I can get more copies, right? And or other people can, like, I don't know, enjoy the cards, you know. But that's just me. Anyway, we're going to be playing. First, I'll go with heroes going first. So let's see our hand. So it's going to be Ferris, Vion, Stratos, and Fusion Destiny. Okay, so this actually gets us something really good. But let's see what our enemy has. So he has Celestial. Ooh, that's rough. Bell. Man, all of them are proxies. Nadir's Servant, Branded Fusion, and Ecclesia. Okay, so he does have a Bell hand trap, which can come up, especially because we're going to be making DPE. But honestly, what we can do here, we don't have to do the bare bones combo of Fusion Destiny, but we can. Right now, I'm feeling like going first. I don't really play around at locals. I do because everyone knows that I play heroes and everyone knows Nibiru kills that. But when you're going to an event and playing competitively, most people are not main decking Nibiru. Most people are side decking Nibiru. At least that's what I found. I didn't find me using the crossout designators for Nibiru at all in the beginning. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to start off with, because we have the Fusion Destiny, we have our way of getting into the Destroy Phoenix Enforcer. So I'm just going to explain all the plays that I do. like for each deck and everything. I know more about heroes, so I'll probably be better. But right now, we're going to normal summon Vion and activate his effect. And with this, we're going to send Shadow Mist. Now, again, I'm not playing against Nibiru, like under Nibiru, because this is, we're assuming we're in a competitive setting and we're going first, which is like, they most likely don't have Nibiru, and again, we have Cross on the deck, and right now we're going to end up drawing 2 cards because of Liquid Soldier if all goes through, which we're looking at. We're looking at the hand, and it will go through, but I'm acting as if I don't know. So we're going to send Shadow Mist, and then we're going to add Liquid Soldier with the Shadow Mist effect. So with that, then we activate Vion's effect to banish Shadow Mist and add Poly. So we add Poly. Where the hell is it? There it is. Let's go. Okay, so at this point, you have to choose what you're going to poly out. So I want to keep the Vion on the field because there is the possibility that we draw Mass Change. So I'm going to actually use cards from my hand. Now, we normal summoned already, so Stratos won't be the best, but Stratos right now I think is better than Ferris because we already have everything going, and Ferris costs 2 cards in hand, whereas Stratos can search Dusted Gold, it can search... it can search basically another Vion, so it's another starter. It's basically just Ferris, but without the extra summons. So it does play under Nibiru. I guess you can't do it in the same turn, but I think right now getting rid of the Ferris is better. So we're going to activate Polymerization on Liquid Soldier and Vion. Now, here we're going to summon whatever this card is called, Sunrise. So then, now that resolves, we're going to activate Liquid Soldier, Chainlink 1, Sunrise, Chainlink 2. So we're going to add Miracle Fusion. Then we're going to whatever. We're going to do all of this stuff. We're going to do all of this stuff and shuffle, and then bam, he's cutting our deck. So let's cut our deck. Bam. So this is our hand. Then we're going to activate the Liquid Soldier's effect. So draw 2. And discard 1. Honestly, we're not going to discard Malicious. We're going to discard the Pot of Prosperity because we don't really need it. We honestly, if you want to keep the Pot of Prosperity and dig for the crossout or dig for the Mass Change, that'd be fine. But honestly, the way things are now, we don't really need to. We're just going to go into the Plasma and have this as just the Miracle Fusion as a backup for next turn to be able to draw 2, discard 1, and then be able to go into Absolute Zero to get like a way to get back into the game and he clears our board, which is very possible because this is a meta deck. This is a very good deck, and yeah, Pot of Prosperity might help that, but I think having the other stuff in the hand is better right now. So we're going to get rid of the Prosperity, and then after that, we're going to activate the Fusion Destiny. Now, Fusion Destiny, you're going to send the Malicious in your hand and the Denier on the field. Not Denier on the field, Denier in the deck. I don't know what I'm saying. But that will get you into your DPE. Now, with this, you're going to actually activate the Malicious effect to banish Malicious, and then go into Malicious. With that, you're going to link. Let's move this hand again. We know what's in the hand, so it's like whatever. Let's put it over here. So let's put it over here. Bam, 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 bam. So can you guys see that? Yeah, you can. So bam, that's what's in his hand. This is there. Bell. So this is what's in his hand, and that's what we have. So then we're going to activate Cross Crusader. We're going to bring back the Denier. And with the Denier, we're going to activate the effect to put the Malicious back at the top of the deck. Now with that, we're going to activate Cross Crusader to tribute, to search for Plasma. Now Plasma, we don't really need the Sunrise. The Sunrise is sort of extra, and it's honestly not really important. So what we're going to do here is we're going to just banish the Malicious, keep the Denier effect off. I don't know why I'm doing that. I don't know why I'm going to the extra deck. But there, we're going to tribute 3 and then go into Plasma. Now, with this, it might not seem like much. It might seem like the same end board I showed in my combo video, and it is for sure. But you have to think about what you have for next turn. So now you still have the denier effect in the graveyard to be able to shuffle back the malicious, even put back the plasma or the DP. You have a second DP in the extra deck, so it doesn't really matter. But like shuffling back the DP, but putting back the plasma or putting back the malicious for extension is great. You have a draw 2, discard 1 with a material on field that clears the board when it leaves the field. And you have a Stratos to search your Dusted Gold, and an Imperm in case they clear your Plasma, which is really good. So then we're going to set the Imperm, we're going to avoid the Mech Knight column, and then we're going to go on into our opponent's turn. So now, we're not going to do anything with the DPE because we don't need to, but let's see. We're going to draw a card. We draw Despian Comedy. So let's see what our hand looks like on the other side of things. So, we have Celestial, which sucks. We have Dogmatika Virtuous, and we have Nadir's Servant. So, Nadir is a way to clear the plasma, actually. So we might just go into... I don't know. So let me think here. So what we could do is we could go Branded Fusion, go Lebellion, or we could save the Branded Fusion, and then I don't play Entis, do I? I don't think I play Entis. So we could do a lot of things, but none of them are very good against Plasma. Okay. So this is tricky because Plasma is a really good card, and now it's very hard to get over because of DPE. Because you have to remember that you're losing 200 attack for every hero monster in your graveyard. So that's 6, 8, 10, 1400 attack is what they're losing, which might not seem a lot, but now they have to be, did I just put my hand in there? No. They have to be quite big to get over Plasma. I think 31 is what they have. No, 33. 33 is what they have to be to get over Plasma, which none of his monsters are. So what we're going to do is... I actually don't know if we can get past this. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's rough, but I'm going to try anyway. So we're going to start off activating Branded Fusion. I'll just put these like here because I can reach, because I'm on the end of my bed. I didn't have a table big enough to do this in my room, and my roommates are having a party. So I'm just going to do it like that, and then that's the graveyard. Okay, so Branded Fusion. I'm going to take the deck here. And we're going to do this. So we're going to do Fallen of Albaz. And then I think... Okay. So what we can do is we're going to send the Tragedy. So the Tragedy... So we're going to send these two. And then we're going to summon... Oh, my controller fell. I was listening to music as well. But then we're going to summon a... Lebellion. So we can't activate his effect, but we can still proc his effect. We can activate his effect. Sorry, that's what I meant to say. We can activate his effect, but his effect will be negated. But you still get the cost of the effect, which is to send from deck to grave. So what we're going to do is we're going to activate. We're going to activate the effect, we're going to activate Tragedy, sorry. That's something that I completely forgot. So, like you can see, I'm not too experienced in this deck, but we're going to add a... Is that bigger? No, that's not bigger. We're going to add a Aluber. So I'm just going to put this deck right here, and then we're going to add an Aluber to our hand, which is over here. Then what we're going to do is we're going to activate Lebellion's effect to send Albion. And then it's going to be negated, so we can't fusion summon, but that's not what we want anyway. We just wanted to send that Albion into the graveyard so we can proc its effect during the end phase. Then what we do is we activate the Nadir's Servant. So we send a card from our extra deck to the graveyard, and we're going to send Titanic Light. Honestly, I think I should play an Entis in here, just to be able to get rid of those big monsters that are weird. I think I might take it to Titaniclad out. But anyway, Titaniclad's effect will do its stuff during the end phase. But here what we're going to do is we're going to actually add another Ecclesia, just because it's we haven't actually normal summoned. We are going to activate Ecclesia to special summon itself in defense position, and its effect will be negated to do its thing and do whatever. But I think that is where we pass our turn, because we can't do anything else, and attacking will just be really bad for us. So anyway, he had no outs to plasma, he didn't have an imperm, and we have an imperm here in case he did have anything. And then he passes his turn, and we go on into our hero turn, which is then, I don't know if we shuffled or whatever, so let's shuffle, then let's cut, and then let's draw. So we got an e-call. Honestly, from here, there's not much else we need to do. So one thing that you need to think about is that the Despian Comedy, for any it's I don't know. The comedy, I think, actually negates an effect that targets a Despia card you control. Okay, so it doesn't. So we don't have to worry about targeting the thing with our plasma, because it doesn't really affect it. But we'll activate the effect and take control of the Lebel, not take control, but like equip the Lebellion and gain half its attack, which is 1250. So he is currently at 3150. Now what we can do is we can actually, we're going to normal summon Stratos and activate its effect to then search Honest Neos. Now we're doing this minimally because, again, he could have a hand trap, he could have some funky stuff. So we're searching Honest Neos because that is one thing that will just guarantee our what's it called, our victory. So we add Honest Neos. We could have added it with the e-call, but again, in case they stop you, in case you don't get LTK, you want to be able to search something with the e-call. Then we're going to activate Miracle Fusion, and on this, he is going to Bell because it does banish from the graveyard. So that's going to fizzle, and we're going to cry. But we can still have OTK, because one thing we can do is we can actually activate Emergency Call, activate Phoenix Enforcer in chain. Then we're going to resolve the effect. So Phoenix Enforcer doesn't target, so the effect resolves on, we choose our targets. We'll choose the E Emergency Call, and then we'll choose the Ecclesia. So that'll be that. And then we get to search, which honestly doesn't matter because we have game on field. And yeah, we have game on field. So I don't know what to search. Oh, we'll search another Stratos, I guess. Why not? Yeah, Stratos. So then we go to battle phase. We do 31, we do 18, we do 25, and another 25 for game. So that's what Heroes looks in game one against branded stuff. Now, if he had the Ecclesia in the extra deck, it would have been honestly, he would have been able to out the board, and we would have had more things to deal with. But as it stands, I'm still new to the deck, so I don't know. Probably should have played the Entis, and I probably will in the future. But for now, that's just how it went. And yeah, sorry for all this messiness, guys. I will be back with the second duel in 1 second. Okay, so And it's gonna be weird to edit. I'm just gonna have to find the place where it stops. I mean, I'm talking to myself at this point. No one else is gonna see this part of the video, but yeah. Anyway, this is an interesting way to do things. I like it. Okay, let's do this. Okay, guys, so we're back with the second game. We're going to start in the same way, except Branded is going to go first this time. So, I'll just keep the deck on the side here, where the banished pile is. So, maybe here? I don't know. That's probably better. Anyway, let's cut. But let's go. And then I'll keep this deck here because I can actually reach it. So let's see our hero hand first because heroes are better. They're not really, but oh, that sucks. The increase is bad. But this isn't bad. This isn't the worst. Okay, so now we're going to go. Oh, why does it? Okay, we have an Eluber and a Branded Fusion and a Branded Loss. That's insane. Okay, so let's start this off. I'm gonna actually put the deck over here. You guys can see it, so I'm not touching anything or whatever. I mean, I'm going to cheat against myself. That's definitely what I'm going to do. Let's go. But we have a monster negate if we get a fusion off, and we have no actual interruption. So, actually, let me just read Branded Lost. Okay. So, you can add one monster that mentions it. Okay. So, we're going to activate Branded Lost. And what we're going to do is we're going to normal summon Eluber to, so I'm playing proxies for Branded Opening right now because they're $30 a piece and I don't want to spend $100 on 3 cards. So I'm going to wait till it gets reprinted. But for now I'm playing Spriggans as a place in. But for now we'll imagine that the Spriggans is the Branded Opening because, you know, it's better. So, we already have the Branded Fusion, and he has no response, so we're going to search. I don't know where we search, actually. Do we search a Spriggan's Kit? No. Do we search a Branded Fusion? Ooh, we can search a Despian Tragedy. Actually, I think we're going to search the No, you can only search Spell Trap, right? Is that it? You can Spell Trap. Yep, one Branded Spell Trap. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to add the Spriggans, which is the Branded Opening for startup, for next turn, and for other things. Like, it's good because the Branded Opening, actually what it also does is it protects your fusion monsters from destruction when it's in the graveyard, which can come up, which is very good. But anyway, that's the deck, and then we'll add this to our hand. Then we're going to activate the Branded Fusion, and he's not going to have a response, so it goes from field to the grave. And then we're going to send the Fallen of Albaz right now. So with heroes, what you have to be scared of isn't really negating things. I mean, it can be negating things, but honestly, just the banish would be okay. Yeah, I think the banish would be okay. We can't go for Dragoon in this point, which Heroes doesn't have the hardest time clearing. It can get over 4,000 pretty easily, but that Omni Negate and Protection is really, really oofy. But I think the Mirror Jade is the better play right now. So we're going to go for Albaz, and we're going to go for Tragedy. So this is one place I misplayed. So actually, maybe not misplayed, but I just didn't think of, which is my bad. But we're going to go for Libellion. And we're going to then activate Chainlink 1 Tragedy, Chainlink 2 Libellion. So what we're going to do is we're going to add a card, which is going to be Adalbeatum. And then we're going to shuffle back this and the Albaz to get out the Mirror Jade. Oh, that's in the extra deck. To get out the Mirror Jade. Let's go. So we're going to put this in defense to play around Lightning Storm. And we're going to add this to our hand. And this is in the graveyard. Does it banish itself? No, it's just there. So we do that, and then we shuffle our deck and continue with our plays. So then from there, we don't have anything that we really want to set. So we're just going to end our turn. And during the end phase is where we're going to do all our stuff. In case they have an effect veiler, in case they have an anything, we have a whatever. We have the Mirror Courier, but we'd rather use that for something else. So we're going to activate Mirror Jade's effect, banish the Aluber, in order to just play around Super Poly, which is really prevalent in this format, which is another thing that sucks for heroes, because, dude, Super Poly's the worst, man. But anyway, we're going to do that, and as cost, we're going to send an Albion. Now, the Albion, what it's going to do is, because it's in the end phase, you can still trigger it, so we're going to trigger it, and we're going to set a Branded in red. We're going to set a Branded in red. So we're going to set that, bam. And then that's good. We're good. So then we're going to activate, we're going to do whatever. We're going to shuffle our cards. Bam, 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 shuffle our cards. And we're going to cut. And then we're going to pass to our opponent, which hasn't done anything with the deck, so we can just draw. And in draw phase, he's going to activate the Branded in red and target the Tragedy. But since we have Called by the Grave, we can Called by the Grave the Tragedy and stop everything from happening, because for the Branded in red to resolve, it has to add back to hand. This is something that everyone may not know, but it is something that is a thing. So because of that happened, he can't fusion with anything, but one thing is, this is a monster effect, so nothing. Yeah, so he has useless field. And yeah, actually, let me read Branded lost its monster effects that summon, right? Fusion summons of also your opponent cannot activate cards or effects when monsters fusion. Nope, okay. So it is just that. So now we have free reign as heroes to do what heroes do. We actually don't have access to the Ferris engine because of the increase, but I still think that Ferris is going to be our search, because that way we can actually just get what's it called? The Malicious into the graveyard. Man, this kind of sucks. So we're going to normal summon Stratos, and because he has and we're going to activate the effect, but because he has the Mirror Jade on the field, he can activate the Mercurier. So he's going to discard this effect to negate the effect of our Stratos, and we are going to cry, because there is nothing much we can do from here. Honestly, we could mass change and try to beat over his Mirror Jade, but we have the Honest Neos, and he's going to be able to activate Mirror Jade next turn. But since he has very little starters, he has that, so he can search Branded Fusion again. But we don't know that, so we're going to just go for battle phase, then attack, and then in damage step, activate Honest Neos to clear the Mirror Jade. Although that it kind of sucks because it does clear our field, but that's why we didn't do any investment. It's better to just keep the mass change. So what we're going to do is then we're going to go to end phase, and then Stratos is going to blow up, and we're going to go to his turn. So then we're going to draw. Oh, he turned you to Fusion Destiny. So that's just real sucky for us. So we're going to activate. We're going to normal summon Spriggan's Kit and then activate Spriggan's Kit. Spriggan's Kit is basically a Luber, except he can't be summoned off of opening. So we're going to search Branded Fusion, and we're going to activate Branded Fusion. Now, I think you could still activate Branded Opening and get a Luber on the field, but at this point, it doesn't really matter. We drew the Fusion Destiny. It's great. Like, it doesn't really matter at this point. Because what you could do is you could do that, then you could summon the Luber, go into Verte, and then do your Branded Fusion. But because it doesn't matter, we drew the Fusion Destiny, see, FD, we can just do our plays. And yeah, so let's search the Branded Fusion. We search the Branded Fusion, and then we're going to send a Fallen of Albaz. And we're going to send, now here is something that we can think about. So I do think that we're going to search for, I think we're going to do Tragedy, just because of what I'm going to show you in a bit. So we're going to do that, and then go into Lebellion again. So Lebellion then activates his effect, Tragedy, Chain Link, honestly, at this point, I don't know if the hero player has, or he doesn't know if they. I guess it's me still, but whatever. The branded player doesn't know the hero player has Ghost Ogre or Ghost anything. Maybe he drew that for turn. Maybe it's why he couldn't do anything. So I actually don't need the search as much as I need the what's it called, the fusion. So I'm going to chainlink 1 the fusion and chainlink 2 the search. And there's no response, so we're just going to go for what's it called? We're going to add the Dramaturge of Despia just to get an extra body on board to go for OTK, and then we're going to activate the Libellion. So the Libellion is going to shuffle back the Albaz, and it's going to shuffle back the Libellion. That's just another thing about this deck. This deck is so recursive. It's just crazy, man. This deck is silly. But we're going to shuffle that back, and then we're going to bring out the Mirror Jade. Now, we don't have anything that we need to do. So then with the Mirror Jade, so this deck can go for OTK, and honestly, with this, we can't, honestly. We can't. Well, we can if I did it right, but I didn't do it right. I could have searched something else with... no, I think I did it okay. But again, you can tell me in the comments where I played wrong. I'm not the best branded player. I'm not saying I am. I don't have the most experience with this deck. After all, I just built it. This is just a rudimentary knowledge. But again, not everyone's going to be a good player when you play against them. So then we're going to activate Fusion Destiny, and we're going to send the Dasher in our hand and the Celestial in our deck. I have a proxy for this, right? The hero player without Fusion Destinies and without Celestial. I use better cards in my deck. Well, not better cards, but I use cards that work better in the heroes, right? I don't have Celestial because I didn't need to have... Actually, no, I lent it out to a friend, so I did have Celestial because I used to use Celestial in the deck, and then I changed to Denier. But, yeah, so then we go for... I'll just borrow it out of the hero deck because I don't think it's going to matter. I think it's going to be pretty close to game at this point. So we're going to go for Destroy Phoenix Enforcer. And then we have 2 cards in hand. And so we're going to activate, we're going to go to battle. We're going to do 18, we're going to do 32, and we're going to do 25. So that's not game yet, but it's still pretty good. Then we're going to go to end phase, activate Mirror Jade effect, banish the Spriggan's Kit, then send the Albion to the graveyard. And we're going to then proc the Albion, which gets us a Branded in red. Okay, so now hopefully he doesn't have Call by the Grave, but it's our turn now. So let's see what we can draw. That is probably the best draw in our deck. Man, it's hard to see what we can do here, mainly because he has the Branded in red, which is going to suck. And he has the DPE, which is also going to suck. Man, the Mercurier, that's one of the reasons why I like Mercurier in the deck, because he does so much. It's just an extra negate, and it's really easy. You can get value off him when he's banished, too. I think that's only for Tri-Brigade, but it's still really good, and I'm just thinking how I get out of this. So here we're going to normal summon increase. And he's going to be like, what? Normal summon increase? And yeah, okay. So then activate Ferris, summon. And then I'm going to activate the increase effect. Now, the opponent doesn't know that I don't have, another increase in my deck, which I don't because I only play 1. But of course we happen to open it because why not? You always open the increase. It's just what happens. But they don't know that. So a bad player might, or not a bad player, but a player that doesn't really know heroes think like, oh, Ferris, that's the card I have to negate. So they might negate this, which is not what they want to do because I'm just going to set the Vion. So then he's a good, well, I'm a decent player, so I know that that's not a thing. So I'm going to have to set the Vion here. But that's okay because it's whatever. Then we're going to go for a Link, and we're going to go for a... That's the wrong extra deck. We're going to go for a Cross Crusader. On summon, I'll activate Cross Crusader effect. Then, because he knows what Cross Crusader does, he's going to chain DPE, and I'll be like, yeah, that kind of sucks. So DPE is going to trigger... So I'll do that. And because I do want the DPE to stay on field, I'm going to get rid of the Branded Lost. But the Cross Crusader effect still triggers, Malicious comes back, and I am screwed. So what we're going to do now is cry, because there's nothing much we can do here. Even if we mass change, they're just not... Actually, well, he has that thing, so it's not like it's going to matter much. But we can do something here. Here, we're going to mass change the thing for, I don't know, Dark Law. So then, if he wants to get value off of this, he can't. But anyway, we're going to then banish Malicious to summon Malicious. Where's Malicious? Sorry if you can hear my roommates. There. So Malicious. And then at this point is when he's going to activate the Branded in Red. So Branded in Red is going to target the... So this is our hand. Is going to target the Tragedy, because we don't have a Tragedy in hand. Then we're going to fusion summon. Right now, we don't really need the pops. We can pop one card, and he's stuck with a Malicious in hand. So we're going to use 2 from hand. We're going to use the Dramaturge, and we're going to use the Ad Libitum, and then we're going to use the Mirror Jade to summon. I don't have a real version of this card because it's expensive. I am getting one in the mail soon, because I traded a Prosperity for that and some money. But we're going to get Chimera on the field. Now, Chimera triggers now, and there's actually a lot of chain links that trigger. So first, we're going to do Chimera, so they can't Ash it. Then we're going to do the Ad Libitum, and then we're going to do the Dramaturge. So Dramaturge activates and summons himself, then Ad Libitum activates and summons out Mirror Jade, and then Chimera activates to draw 2 and pop 1 card on the field. So this is our hand for Branded, and pop the Dark Law, because Dark Law is the only problem on this field. So now we have a bunch of stuff, and basically game. So then we're going to just cry, pass to our opponent. Our opponent's going to move to battle phase and attack us for game. But guys, that is sort of what a game with heroes against Branded is going to look like. Unfortunately, we did kind of brick sort of hard in the opening hand, and he did have the Mercurior or the negate for Stratos, which is just... Not a lot of people are playing Mercurius, so may not always have to worry about that. And if we had opened something like Ferris, or if we had opened something like I don't know, anything instead of the increase, then it would have been better. But again, bricks happen. It's part of the game. It's part of the being a hero, hero player. It's part of whatever. And just like they kind of brick game 1, so it just evens out. And again, this would go into a game 3, and or a game 2, and you could side deck and like more do stuff to help with that. But for now, that is where I'm going to leave it. I hope this helps someone. Like I said, this is just something like that a game would look like. This is sort of how the deck interacts with Branded. Plasma kind of kills Branded because all of their effects resolve on field. Some of them do resolve in the graveyard, but all their fusion effects resolve on field. So yeah, and yeah, no, that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please do like, maybe subscribe. Remember to comment down below like things that you might have played differently or ways that you would have played out the turn. I don't know. Tell me. I'm really interested to know. I do want to get better, whether it be with Heroes or with Branded. I like both of the decks a lot, although Heroes is kind of just my thing. But yeah, let me know what you think. Let me know what you think about this, like sort of doing things by myself. Maybe if I should get a friend to learn how to play the decks and play with me, I'd be okay with doing that. But for now, that's how I'm going to do things, just because that's the only way I can do things. Yeah, but hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, great. See you guys later. Hope it helped.